Good morning, YouTube. Today is Tuesday, September 12th. My oldest brother's 40. Stinks for him. We got a twofer for the people. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How's the weather down there?
Sunny.
Nice.
You're looking so professional today. I love it.
Yeah, got to get in the office early. Big day. We got to figure out some issues that came up. So I'm going to go handle that.
Big day. Okay. Big day, Tommy. Anth, how you doing this morning?
Good, buddy. Good. Rocking and rolling here.
Wonderful. Hey, just so you know, just to let the people know, I was perusing the internet last night, looking for different articles for the show, doing my research. I saw an article, nine things home buyers are doing right now in this market. Number one thing on the list, seller buy downs. So there you go. The national media must be watching the chatter. We must be moving the needle because what we've been talking about for the last month or two, now I'm seeing articles on it nationally. So congratulations. We are the needle movers, boys.
I like that. I like to hear that. I got a 6-page packet ready to go at my meeting this morning on seller buy downs.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Yes, sir. So we're going to be full business today, getting into it because we got a twofer for the people. And first thing we're going to talk about the loan type that gets away from us that maybe not everyone is aware of. I even tested this out on a couple people yesterday. When I say USDA, what do you think of? We all think of mortgages. Other people think of meat. Literally, anytime the public has heard of USDA, they think meat. And so I'm like, we just got to get it out there because it's a great program. And you don't, people hear rural housing and they think, oh my God, I got to go buy a house out by Seven Springs just to qualify for this thing. And that's far from the case. So USDA is rural housing. It's 0% down, and it's for primary residents only. Now, Tom, talk about the eligibility. I know Anthony pulled up the eligibility map here, and just talk about how you go about finding out if the house qualifies or not.
Yeah, for sure. So Anthony brought up this eligibility map. It could be found on, I believe it's USDA.gov. We could send the link out for anybody that wants it. But what you do is on the top left-hand corner there that you see Anthony has pulled up, he typed in 2250 Babcock Boulevard. That is our office address in the North Hills. And once you type it in and hit go, you can see that it has that little pin saying where actually the property is. And this particular property is not in a USDA zone, or it is in an urban zone, I guess we could call it. That gold or orange, if you're colorblind, map portion right there shows you what is ineligible. The whiter area outside of that general Pittsburgh city area that he's showing you here, you can see that is all USDA eligible. There are little blips of ineligible properties, as we can see around Butler and Newcastle, as those areas are actually cities. They're not large metros, but they are still cities. So anywhere in that white zone, you can see now as he's scrolling out that most of the western side of PA is actually rural housing besides Pittsburgh and those few little blips in Newcastle, Greensburg, Butler, those types of areas. So that is how you actually find if the property is eligible, which is the first step to seeing if the person will qualify for the USDA.
That's a pretty good recap right there. It is the most unique program because not only does the borrower have to qualify, but the property has to be in a qualifying area. But again, if we're at a time in crazy high interest rates, Anth, and buyers are hurting with affordability, and everyone's looking for ways to get into properties with less or, help them out in some manner, maybe we start switching to a USDA loan and just look in an area that's USDA eligible. Right? Anthony, throw your 2 cents in there.
My bad, man. My bad.
Stop sending emails and pay attention to me, guy.
I was actually checking the income limits for USDA.
Holy cow.
So, but yeah, USDA is a great program. It's the only other program besides VA that allows for 0 down payment. But you're right. It's kind of one of those programs that kind of went by the wayside and was forgotten about since, everything was so pressured on doing conventional financing. USDA was one of those programs that was put to the side. But yeah, I mean, based on the income limits as well, somebody can, it's up to 115,000 in total annual income. So, I mean, that's a good amount of money for the household to be able to qualify for a USDA loan. So now this eligibility site, they could just they could just type into Google USDA eligibility, and it'll actually pull up the link right there. It's like one of the first or second one that'll pop up, and then they just type in the address like you did.
Yeah, I mean, I think this website is huge too. If you're a listing agent and you think your house that you're listing might be USDA eligible, you should search it on this website, and you need to advertise that. Making a property USDA eligible is going to open up that buyer pool because it's 0% down. So if you're a listing agent and you have a property in a USDA eligible area and you're keeping that a secret, I think that's hurting the marketability of that house. So get that out there. It is an easy website to get to. And there are a lot of properties, even on the eastern side of Allegheny County, right? Like you can get in the Plum and still be USDA eligible in some parts of it. And I know I've had cases where a house has been, literally a street or two away from the eligible area. That's how, I mean, it all goes off census information, right? Tom isn't deciding what's a USDA eligible house. I'm not deciding. It's the government deciding for us based off of census information, what they consider a rural area.
Yeah, right. And just to cap on that, like if an agent's looking this up and pulling up their property, just don't pull up the map and just assume that that's going to be eligible, because I don't know if this happened to you guys, but one side of the street might be eligible and the other side may not be. Mm-hmm. So definitely type in the address for the specific home that you're trying to sell or list, so that specific property is actually eligible in that area.
The address I used on this one was the world headquarters there for West Penn Financial. I don't think Tom knows our address, so
no, I can't see that small right now.
Oh, okay. I mean, you said the address. You're like, 22.
I read it. Yeah.
50.
I haven't been there in 6 years, right?
Okay. I hear Mike and Tony's is coming next door, so that's
really.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm a Mike and Tony's hero out in Moon. Get it? What I did there?
All right. So yes, USDA. It's like an FHA loan because it's a government loan. The appraisal is going to be similar. We're going to have standards the appraisal is going to have to meet. But if you have a property in an eligible area, a buyer can get in 0% down. There's 6% seller assistance available. And at West Penn, we do have the program for first-time home buyers. The rate is 6.125 still today. That's a 6.97 APR. So guys, if you have your first-time home buyers, if they're looking in rural areas, West Penn got you covered. You got to give us a call. That is, I feel it's the best program we can get buyers out with interest rate, with down payment all around. That's going to be a pretty darn good program.
I agree. Yeah,
sure.
We could definitely handle these. We know how to do them. So give us a call if you need help.
All right, so that puts a bow on USDA. Getting into segment number 2, cash out refinances. Thomas, I know you've been pushing cash out refinances, and everyone, the first thought when you say cash out refinances, why would you do that when rates are so high? And it's like, yes, rates are high for mortgages, but go check out your credit cards. I just checked out a home equity line that I haven't used in years. And I think when I got it, it was at 2 or 3%. It's up to 12% now.
Mm-hmm.
Credit cards, I'm hearing, could be 20 to 30%. So if you're someone or you know someone that is, their now credit card payments are so high every month, just the minimums, that they're not even able to kind of breathe, you can, the only good thing right now about real estate, I'm knocking over my microphone, I'm getting so excited about this, is most homeowners have a good amount of equity. Anthony's got a stat out there about 50% of homeowners got this amount of equity. It's pretty amazing. With equity, folks can use that equity, pull it out as a refinance, pay off their credit card debt or their student loans or their car, and then just have one big payment under an overall lower rate for that 30 years. Right, Tommy?
It sounds crazy. It really does. You're like, why the heck would I do that? But these people with 4 or 5% interest rates going to, 7.5, because we could even buy down the rate a little bit when we're cashing out. So these people, I'm seeing it time after time. I mean, if you got $10,000 credit card debt, which is easy to do in some people's spending habits, you're seeing minimum payments on that credit card could be $500 a month. And yeah, we're going to raise the interest rate on your home, everything of that nature, but we might be able to save you $1,500 to $2,000 a month on your total cash flow, just because, we're going to pay off all those credit cards for you. The credit card rate is going out of control. I was just with my buddy last night, and he had to buy a new truck because his other one got totaled, and he had 0% interest on his other one because he got it a few years back. Now this one that he just bought has 8.5 on a car too. So, I mean, We're starting to see all of these numbers climb steadily. The credit card payments, there's so many credit cards out during COVID that they got everybody hooked to them. And now they raise the rates and jump the rates, and they're having a field day. They don't care about your well-being, those credit card companies. They don't care what's going on. They're just going to keep raising that rate. So there is relief in the cash out refi world if we would want to go down that route. Don't lose sight of it. I think it's going to be very important here over the next year to keep people out of serious problems with their debt.
Yep. Anth, you want to?
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Hold on. Are you Googling anything? Are we good? Are you clear?
I'm good.
Okay, take it away.
I'm good. Yeah, I totally agree with Tom. I mean, with inflation, and the increase in cost of everything. I mean, yeah, people are looking to credit cards to supplement that higher price for some of these items, food, gas, whatever it may be. But yeah, I mean, if somebody gets in the sevens, I mean, and they're paying 20% interest, yeah, I mean, you're saving money, and it also will save you money monthly as well. So definitely an option to at least look at. It might not work for everybody, but it doesn't hurt to take a look.
Yeah, I mean, all we've heard about for the last 2 years is Fed meetings and what they're doing with rates and what that does to mortgage rates. What the public isn't realizing is every time you hear the Fed raises rates, all rates go up. So that means here comes your credit card rates getting higher, which just your minimums go high. And you're like, holy crap, overnight, now these minimums, I'm not even knocking anything off, or it's still going up with my monthly minimum payment. Like that is what we need to stop. And just, yes, your mortgage payment will go up in a cash out refinance, but your overall monthly debts would go down. That's for the folks that need that. That's why we would do a cash out refinance. Not going to be for everyone, but that is a great use for the cash out refinance. Or maybe it's still a post-COVID scenario where we need a bigger house. You don't want to move, but you need to do an addition, and you try to go get that personal loan from the bank down the street, and it's 12, 15, 17%. Like, 8% doesn't sound too bad in that case. You know what
That's
I'm
very
saying?
possible too. That's not like a scenario that's out of reach by any means.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just a different economic time. You know, if Joey Bicycles decides to fall off a bike again and, you know, send another 20 bill to Ukraine, rates are probably going to continue to rise. So you got to really hone this in, understand what type of financial market we're in, and realize that this is the reality of the rates right now, and you got to kind of figure it out and not get overwhelmed by credit card debt.
Couldn't agree more. I love the little plug you threw in there to get us some more viewership, to keep the viewers happy there. That last sentence you used. So
absolutely, for
I
sure.
do appreciate the JB comment.
But when it gets down, it's just we were in a world of prosperity a few years ago, and talking about cash out refinance or credit card debt or these crazy high payments just wasn't a reality. And now it's like every week it's getting worse and worse and worse, and everything's getting more expensive, and your dollar just, it's like you used to be able to pay for things and do stuff or go out to dinner, and now everything's costing so much. I mean, I think it's like $800 more a month since the beginning of bicycles to now. So
I can't take Natalie to dates the Five Guys anymore. It exceeds $40.
all right, well, I know Anth got to run. Boys, you have a great day. See you Friday.
See you guys.
Talk to you then.
Later.